Welcome back to another episode of Next Level Podcast. I'm your host, Ebony Francis, and today, as you all know, we have some very special people coming to just talk to us about what's going on in the world right now. I am awaiting Miss Shayna Fields to come in from the Naacp. She's going to be coming in to give me some insights, give us some instruction, and just talk to us a little bit about what is happening as the days go by, and just to keep us encouraged, just to keep our focus, and just to allow some of our people that are on the front line to come in and give us some really good insights, and to just keep us motivated and focused. Hi, hello, beautiful. I'm good. How are you?
Good. Happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, thank you so much for being here, everybody out there. We just want to say thank you so much, Sky Level Media, from us to you, Next Level Podcast. We have Miss Shayna Fields in the Sky Lounge right now from Naacp. She's doing major things. She's working with the youth. She's working with the colleges. She's out there right now, just trying to make a difference. So how are you feeling? How are you feeling right now?
I'm tired.
We appreciate you.
I am tired, but I'm hopeful. Very hopeful.
Exactly. So like I said, we have Miss Shayna Fields in here right now. We're gonna just kind of get into it. I know we had already briefly spoke about it. It's gonna be just an icebreaker. It can get a little crazy sometimes. We can just talk about some inspiration right now. So I'm gonna start with one name, and you just tell me something that you feel about that name. So let's start with Miss Angela Davis.
I think about the afro. She was one of the people who I'm supposed to say one word, right?
Oh, go, please.
Okay.
Yes.
It was a true revolutionary in feminine form. We were able to see a revolutionary woman in feminine leadership, and I loved how she expressed it through her afro, through her outfits. It was just such an amazing era, and I think she completely just embraced that culture and embraced the movement through the way that she looked. And I'm a big person of expression, like the way you dress, the way that you wear your hair is an expression of your Blackness, and I think she did so eloquently, and it was just a plus to her voice.
Yeah, I just recently watched something of her yesterday. Yeah, so I definitely agree. Okay, so our next one's gonna be Mr. Malcolm X.
Malcolm X, I think about the glasses, the spectacles. Yeah. Yeah. So as you can tell, I'm a person. I pay attention to features.
Yeah.
Those features speak so much to me. The glasses to me represent wisdom, represent a studious individual, and just someone who is a visionary. And he had a visionary that was very different. If you took his voice and put it somewhere else, it would sound really radical, really, like ready to go. But he put on those glasses, and it's like, you don't even expect a Black man looking like myself to say these words. And let me put on these glasses and shed some light and some knowledge on you really quickly. And so that's what I felt.
Exactly. That's something that you're just not expecting to
get. Oh, it's all right. It happens to me.
Something that you're not expecting to get from him. I love that. I love that a lot. Okay. All right. And last but not least, we're going to go with our late great, beautiful Black man, George Floyd.
Oh my gosh. When I think of Mr. Floyd, I actually think of his daughter. I think of his daughter and how she said, "Daddy changed the world."
Yes.
He was a wonderful man. He was a man of God. He was a man in his community that served, and all he wanted to do, it seems like from all his videos and everything, was to be a servant leader to his community. And so I believe he's left an excellent legacy for his daughter. His daughter, I believe that she's going to grow up and be such a powerful leader because she sees the change. Daddy changed the world. That's powerful.
That is powerful. So powerful.
It was to say that.
That's the first thing I thought about too, was just change, and just no matter what the circumstances are right now, there's going to be change from here. things are not going to be the same. Our voices are going to be heard. Our voices are going to be clear. Our visions are going to be clear.
Yeah.
And to people and women and Black women like you in this time, we just appreciate you and we thank you so much. And with what you do with the youth, could you just explain to any of the youth that we might have in here, what exactly is the NAACP and what exactly are we fighting for, and what is your mission statement? And just for those who might be a bit confused, or for those who just might not understand, just give us a better understanding of it.
So the NAACP is an organization. It has been the oldest and the boldest, the oldest and the coldest for the national advancement of colored people. So what does that mean? That means that this is an organization that is dedicated to the fight for justice for African Americans. And what it is pretty much is they educate on voters' education. That's what I do as the political action chair. My sector is voter education, civic engagement. They fight on behalf of those who don't have a voice. They fight for the voiceless, for people who may be discriminated against. Since way back in the day, since the beginning of like the 1900s, they have been on the front lines fighting for Black people to have their rights, fighting against segregation and to integrate people. And they just have a phenomenal history. Look up the NAACP and check that history and see how they have a history of agitating, educating, organizing, and mobilizing people to vote, getting people to help with literacy, helping them get to the polls, all of that protesting, marching. They have an extensive history of being the one that the Black community would call on when there was an injustice or when racist activities happened. The NAACP has always been on call and on go on the front lines for this fight.
Absolutely. Can you talk about the kids, talk about the youth, and how do you all get the youth ready with these protests? And I know there might have been some kids out there that have been protesting. How do you keep them, pretty much just keep their mental space and just keep them safe and keep them sacred without shielding them from what's really happening? You know what I mean?
So actually the NAACP, Georgia Youth in College, we aren't scheduling or coordinating any physical protests.
Okay.
Have done is we have been using social media as a means to educate our youth and to get them involved through social media campaign. As an example, Ahmaud Arbery made sure that we went outside and ran. I took my neighbor, he's like my little brother, he's 11 years old, and I took him outside and I had him run with me, run the 23, I think it was 23 miles with me, the amount that Ahmaud ran. And so I explained to him, I said, do you know why we're running right now? He said, I saw what happened. And I said, we're going to take this picture that says, I run with Maud, to show solidarity and to show that young black boys can run in the neighborhood and we should be able to be safe. We should be able to be protected. It was very hard having that conversation with him and very emotional, but it had to be done like on a one-on-one basis. So I think more so the NAACP wanted to have these conversations at home, provide the resources so that those conversations can be held at home, and just giving different resourceful resources like definitions of people on the ballot, I've been going live with different senators and state reps and like community leaders to talk about how to educate ourselves on how to vote. So that's kind of where we've been in during this space, doing a lot of back end work as well that's not online. Like as far as like when it comes to protesting, speaking to lawyers and speaking to people who can make sure that we keep our students safe or provide resources like where they can be bailed out and where you can donate bailout funds. So things of that nature, just not organizing like a full-on protest.
Yeah. Because that kind of worried me, because I used to work with I worked with kids, homeless high school kids, and they were 16, 17, and just to already have them out there in these circumstances, I just always wanted to keep them. So I know that was something that just worried me. Just seeing the kids out there, I'm just like, oh Lord Jesus, please keep the kids safe.
I thought that little girl was being pepper sprayed. I was like, oh my God, no.
There's so much going on. And I'm not a kid. I'm a kid. I'm pretty young, and I still look at them as kids. I'm like, these kids just got tasered out of their cars, or these kids are trying to get home. These kids are trying to these kids don't deserve this. These kids don't deserve this treatment. But what have the last few days been like for you, just emotionally, or just like it's been so like you've done so much. You've done so much. Like you've all like we've all been seeing this, but this is just so different. It's like it's like a switch hit, but with you being so active and so involved, and those of you that are just joining, we have Shayna Fields from the NAACP. She is an amazing woman. She is working with the youth and she is making things happen. But just what was my point? I'm so
yeah,
just like
I
what have the last few days been like for you emotionally?
Right. So yesterday was actually my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
You.
Yes.
And I chose to celebrate my birthday with going out to the protests. One of which I had two. I went to one at City Hall, and then I went to one in Grove Park, which was a prayer rally for this organization called the And campaign, where they represent social justice and Jesus, and social justice, social action, and not just being a silent church, but being active and moving forward. So the first protest was my first time getting out there and protesting in a minute. A lot of the organizers who have been doing things forever in this sector of social justice, we're kind of tired because we're trying to see what we need to do strategically. I keep my ear in legislation and in legislative rooms, as well as to the community and in the streets. So I'm doing a little bit of both. So that day I went to the protest. I had a great time with a couple of friends marching. It kind of felt like, I felt a lot of hopelessness from the crowd. I felt a lot of anger and rage, and my heart just became heavy and was like, God, I wish I knew the words to encourage you all and to give them hope. But once I went to the prayer rally, it was Black, white people, Spanish people, everybody in unity. And the message that I gave during that rally was, we were born for such a time as this. And I believe that with my whole heart, that we were not born during this time to sit back and to be, just in despair. Our anger and our rage is going to channel so many different leaders to take action in all different types of sectors, in legislative sectors, in community grassroots organizing and mobilizing. Right now, generational leaders are being born because they're desperate for change. My goal is to meet them where they are in their desperation and take them to places that they've never been before. A lot of Black kids, think they can't make it to Capitol Hill. They may not think that there's such a thing as governmental affairs and government. There are so many sectors in this thing. You can be from the Bluff, you can be from Buckhead, Bankhead, wherever. If you're a young Black individual, join me right now. I'll take you from this protest and teach you all the different ways you can use your voice in spaces that you never even knew existed. And that's my goal. That's how I run,
Yes. What advice could you give to young and old, just to keep our faith and our mental health, and just during this time of duress and stress? What advice can you give us to just stay focused and not lose sight of what's going on? Because sometimes it does get hard, and we see you all out there getting through it, and sometimes it's just like, I can't do it, but then I'm like, I can do it because she's doing it. You know what I mean? Like, what advice could you give me to allow me to be confident enough to know that I don't have to fear, I don't have to worry, and that this fight is going to be something for the books, pretty much.
I hear your heart. I really do. My words right now is to unplug from social media for about 3 days if you can, a day, a couple of hours, but make sure you are regularly unplugging. Go and do the things that you like to do best, that you can do right now. Because if you don't have rest, then how can you receive strength to lead from a pure heart? You can't lead from a pure heart if you're agitated because you have not rested, because you have not dwelled on the things that give you inspiration and that give you the energy to move forward. For me, that's prayer. For me, that's having conversations with my elders, with those who I respect and those who understand my heart. I actually, oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we just got the I'm sorry, we just got the 9 o'clock thing, so I know it's 8:13 for those that are on here right now. 9 o'clock curfew. I just got that notification.
Oh, okay, that's what that was. All right, got you. But yeah, I was just saying, let's release ourselves from the feeling and obligation of being, we gotta be understood, or we're so misunderstood. Relinquish yourself from the obligation of that, and just know the people that are around you that understand and hear your heart. They understand. Talk to those people that love you most and say, right now I'm just really feeling sad. I just want to talk. I just want to vent. I just need to get this off my chest. And before you know it, you start coming up with ideas. You begin to, feel differently. The heaviness begins to, come off of you. Read books that inspire you. Watch television shows and documentaries that inspire you. For example, I love A Different World. That is my favorite in the whole wide world show ever. And I just I turn off the news and I watched me about 4 episodes of A Different World. It's like, man, Debbie Allen did her thing back then.
This is nice. I wish my school was like this.
Yeah, you see, and then we're able to redirect our mind from the media, reshape and restructure what we're feeling in the moment right now. Yes, a different world. And look new ideas and get new passion. Do the things you love. Be with the people who love you and who understand and know your heart. And don't spend a lot of energy in conversations where you're misunderstood, or when where you're yearning to be understood by that person. Be with people who know your heart.
Yes. Thank you, God. Okay, and what can the youth do right now? Youth 21 and under, maybe. What can they do right now to lend their hands? I know social media, or how can they get involved with the NAACP? What words of direction can you give to the youth to just be able to get active and get involved and
so
become a part?
Yeah, they can go to naacp.org, or they can follow our Instagram pages at GANAACPYC. That's Youth in College. Or they can go to NAACPYC, and that's also the National Youth in College. So you got the Georgia Youth in College and the National. Links in the bio. Go ahead and go to the website. You'll be able to see where you can get a membership and start your journey with the NAACP. Look up your local chapter, your local your local branch, or the college units, so you can see where you can get involved. Have conversations with your parents. If they're like 10 and younger, have their parents, Google the local youth councils that are around them so they can get involved.
Yes, absolutely. All the parents out there, all the cousins, all the uncles, just continue to keep the youth informed right now. And all of you that are joining, we have Shayna Fields in the Skyy Lounge. She is blessing us with all of the amazing information that we just need. And could you just give us some more information as far as June 9th with voting? What steps can we take to vote? What needs to be done? Or is there any place where we can link up? Is there going to be is there going to be anything as far as like a teamwork situation, or how can we just get involved and get our vote?
Right. So once again, I will redirect everybody to our GANAACPYC page where they can have more information on where to vote. June 9th is the day that is the primary election. If you have not registered to vote, here's a couple websites. turbovote.org is a website. Headcount.org is a website that will help you to see who's on your ballot. Once you receive your absentee ballot, you can Google a local drop-off location, and you'll be able to see, actually vote.com or vote.org. You'll be able to see a drop-off location where you can drop off your absentee ballot so that you don't have to mail it in on such short notice. So those are some good resources, and all of that. I'm actually making a video today. A lot of people have been asking me, how do I get involved? Where do I do? So I'm making like one singular video that will direct.
I did see that. I did see that on your Instagram. You were gonna make a video with all the information that we can get. So make sure everyone out there that y'all definitely go follow Shayna Fields and get all that information.
Yes.
Is there anything that you'd like to leave us with, or any information that that I didn't ask you that you just want us to know here right now before we wrap up?
Yeah, don't forget about the census, guys. We still need to be counted by the census. It's actually been extended to October 31st. So if you listen, the census is how we get our money, federal funding. There's over 300 ways that they're giving us federal funding that is distributed to the counties, to the state government in the budget. That's how we get our resources for county services and state services. So please make sure that you go to 2020census.com and fill out the census.
Yes, y'all. I did mine.
Yay! This is the thing, girl.
Yes, make sure y'all definitely, all this information that you've just given us, please, 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 if y'all have any questions, please slide in Shayna's DMs. If you have any questions, slide in our DMs. We'll send you over to her. We just want to thank you so much. We have Shayna Fields in here right now with Next Level Podcast with the NAACP. And we just want to say, please tell the youth hi for me. And just thank you, and I'm just so proud of them and everything that they're doing, and just continue to thrive, and we will see the other side of this soon. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Have a good night.
You too.